to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Charles Johnson in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Champ Bailey. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, it's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And before this play happens, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's a give to Miller. And a short gain down to about the 33. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. It's a big play there. And even 40 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
On 1st and 10, Wade. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
2nd and 10. Wade to throw it again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never say never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. So the D-line's going to spread out. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick...
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And now back out comes the offense. They set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a first throw here in overtime. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, second down.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's three for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Off play action. Wade. And caught by Cruz. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might crack.
Oh, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Shot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Carlos Dunlap able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They run. Hyde. Carlos Hyde, see you later. Past the 20. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A huge play there in overtime. 61 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Again, it's Hyde. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now, remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave the